What's up, everybody? Daniel Day back again with another video for DDayGaming, and today is a very special day, and that is because after today, when I make videos like this one for you guys, I am no longer going to have to sit in this chair. For those of you that have been following my channel for a while, you have probably heard me mention on more than one occasion that this is just a chair that I stole from my kitchen, which has not made my wife a super happy camper, yeah, and there's nothing wrong with the chair. The chair is just fine, but certainly after multi-hour intense gaming sessions, or when I'm in here sitting doing these types of videos for hours at a time, it can get a little bit uncomfortable. So I've just kind of dealt with it for a while, and finally decided a few weeks ago to actually do something about it. So started doing some research. There's a lot of chair options out there. I had no idea how many chair options there were out there, and eventually that research led me to DXRacer, more specifically their racing series of chairs. It seemed like something that would work out well for when I'm streaming, work out well for these types of videos, and certainly while I'm sitting at a desk doing video editing and all of that. So yeah, figured it out finally, all excited, went to order the thing, and of course they were sold out and did not have any more in stock. So waited for a few days, kept checking back on the website. They never did come back in stock. So I finally just reached out to DXRacer on Twitter. I emailed them, and this very nice lady named Melissa, if you're watching this, thank you, reached back out to me because I had expressed a concern, were they just sold out, or had they stopped making them after all of these hours trying to figure out what the perfect chair was? That would be just my luck, right? But she assured me that they had more coming, and just keep checking back, and so that's exactly what I did. And lo and behold, a few days later, my chair that I wanted so desperately was back in stock. So that actually was just right at the end of last week. It is amazing to me how quickly this thing showed up after I ordered it. I'm very, very impressed with the shipping times and all of that. So anyway, I figured that I would maybe film myself unboxing the thing and putting it together. I'm still not exactly sure what form this video is going to take. Hopefully it does not turn out terribly, but if it does, please bear with me. I've never really unboxed something that is quite this big. You'll see how big the box is in just a second. So we'll get to that. Just wanted to mention right now up front, this is not a sponsored video. I know some people worry about that, so I just wanted to make that clear. Not that I have any problems being sponsored by DXRacer or anything like that. This is a chair that I did purchase with my own money. It was not provided complimentary, and if it had been, I would certainly share that with you guys. Okay, so with all of that out of the way, I suppose we should go ahead and get into it. I'm very anxious to cut this thing open, get it put together, and finally be able to sit in it after all of this time. So before I started filming this, I went ahead and got my required tools out of the garage. I'm sure that these will come in handy, and I am also aware that the responsible thing to do is make sure that you wear eye protection when handling unnecessary power tools. So it just so happens that in the January Loot Gaming Loot Crate, they included these. I'm sure these will come in handy, right? So yeah, honestly didn't know if I was ever going to have a use for these things, but as fate would have it, they did not sit there collecting dust for very long. Thanks, Loot Crate. Okay, let's go ahead and get this thing cut open and see what we got. Okay, so got the camera moved, got the lights moved, all of that fun stuff. Hopefully you guys can see me okay, and hopefully you can hear me okay. We will see how this all works out. And for anybody that's judging me right now, because I feel some of you judging me, yes, that is an iMac, and yes, it is on the floor, and yes, I know that that is bad for computers. But just like it took me forever to settle on a chair, I am still doing some research on a desk. That's going to be my next purchase. So in the meantime, if you could cut me a little bit of slack and maybe not judge me too harshly, I'd really appreciate it. You know who you are, right? Okay, let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so got everything out of the box. Everything seemed to be packaged very, very well and efficiently, and everything seemed quite protected, which is awesome. So I went ahead and got the plastic wrap off of everything, so we should be good to actually start assembling the thing. At this point, looks like there's an instruction manual, which is good because I'm not super great with this kind of stuff. So yeah, if you see me scratching my head or mucking around as I'm working on this, that is probably why. So all right, let's go ahead and get into this. Oh. Yeah, so apparently there are these bolts or screws or whatever with these little washers on them, and they had kind of worked their way into the leather there, so I had to be careful getting them out. I did not want to lose them. I am not 100% sure that I was supposed to take these out, but it looked like maybe that was the case. We'll see, right? Okay, let's figure out what to do next. Okay, so finally got this thing together, which is awesome. I gotta tell you though, this camera angle and all of that kind of creeping me out. I've gotten very, very used to things being, well, the way that we normally shoot these. So if you'll give me just a moment, I'm gonna go ahead and move the camera and the lights and get this chair in my normal chair spot. And hey, while I'm at it, maybe I will take the other chair back to the kitchen table. I'm sure that would make my wife a happy camper. So give me just a second, and then I will be back with some first impressions of the chair, maybe talk about a few of the bells and whistles. So I'll be back in just a second. Okay, so got everything moved back around, got everything back in its rightful place, which is great. I'm very, very happy to have things back how I am accustomed to them being. Obviously, the big difference being that I am sitting in a substantially more comfortable chair. This thing so far is absolutely fantastic. So I do not want this video to be crazy long, so I'll probably do more of final impressions, maybe a review later on down the road after I've put it through its paces. But just a few observations, right now, like I promised. One, very, very, very comfortable. Two, and I found this very, very interesting, when I first sat in this with the lumbar support pillow on it, I absolutely did not care for it, but oddly enough, I wanted to figure out what all the buttons and levers do. This thing has got so many options and so many things that it can do, which is why I bought this particular model chair. But so I pulled up DXRacer's website and I started, reading through all of that stuff, and then they had a video showing what everything did, and I was doing all that. And it actually turns out I flipped around the installation instructions, and it wasn't blank on the back. All of that information was already there in the box. Who would have thunk, right? But anyway, as I was going through all that, I'm sitting in the chair, right, and I'm adjusting the seat part, and I'm adjusting the back part, and somewhere in there, I guess I got everything aligned just perfectly, and that lumbar support pillow, okay, yeah, it's amazing. I love it now. I think I just wasn't accustomed to having something pushing in my back. I've never had a chair with a lumbar support pillow or any kind of built-in lumbar support, but when it came out of the box, it's all super straight like that, right? But now that I got everything adjusted and it's just hitting in just the right spot, oh, I love it. Yeah, this is not coming off this chair. I'm so glad that things just worked out where I ended up just having to sit in the chair while I was messing around with that, because otherwise I would have taken it off and probably never tried it again, never put it back on. But yeah, very, very glad things worked out that way. So I did want to mention, I realized at the beginning of this video, I did not tell you specifically which model chair this is. For any of you that maybe found this because you're doing some research on DXRacer, maybe thinking about picking one of these up and you're wondering exactly which one this is. Let me get my phone out real quick. I had the website pulled up. Okay, this is a Racing Series, you ready for this? OH/RV001/NW. The W at the end, I'm pretty sure, stands for the fact that it is white, because I was looking at the NR also, and that was a black and red one. So that is specifically which one this is. So there are actually quite a few DXRacer chairs in the racing series alone, let alone the Formula series, and I think the Sentinel series, and the King series, and I think there's a Tank series, just all sorts of stuff. But that's what this one is. So the RV001, as opposed to, I think there was like an R1 or RV1. This one's got all of the bells and whistles that you can get on this particular line of chairs. So anyway, just wanted to go ahead and mention that as well. I am already very, very, very impressed with this chair, the fit, the finish, all of the options. It's crazy comfortable to sit in, especially now that I got it all adjusted and all of that. And believe it or not, this thing will actually let you lean basically all the way back and not tip over. I tested that. I did that off camera just in case I fell and broke something. But yeah, it worked absolutely great once I figured out how to do it. So that's very cool. I guess if you wanted to take a nap in it or something like that. Yeah, and these arms like adjust. This one's got what they call 4D arms, so you can raise them and you can lower them, and you can move the actual armrests forward, and you can move them back, and you can move them out and in. And they'll actually twist in like that if you want to have a more comfortable, more supported position to play like with a controller or something like that. So yeah, you know, just every direction you could possibly imagine. Wow, I kind of feel like a flight attendant right now. So yeah, that is very cool. All of the different adjustments, you can lock how it rocks, if it does rock or it doesn't rock, and all of the angles. There's all sorts of fine control. It's not just you know, you got it here or here or here. You got all of that you know, in between, which is very, very, very great. I figure you could basically get this chair you know, in any kind of angle or position, and just kind of lock it there, which is fantastic because everybody's going to want these things to be a little bit different. And I think that's part of what you pay for with a chair like this is being able to get it exactly how you like it. So, you know, I've watched streamers for years, and so many of them choose DXRacer chairs. I see them all the time. They've got a very iconic look in the little DXRacer logo on the back. So I have seen them. That's what brought me to them originally. And, you know, seeing those all these years, honestly, in the back of my head, I've always just kind of wondered, are people buying these because they are great chairs and very comfortable, or are they just doing it because these chairs are clearly gorgeous and they look good on camera? And you know, after sitting in one of these things finally, my initial impression is both. That's why DXRacer sells so many of these things. This is incredibly comfortable. It's got all sorts of bells and whistles, and yeah, it looks great when you're streaming, that sort of thing, which I like quite a bit as well. So anyway, probably a good idea to wrap this video up here at this point. Like I said, I don't want it to be any longer than it clearly already has been. I will start working on a more in-depth impression video, and like I said, maybe even a review once I've really had a chance to put it through its paces. So more to come on that. So just wanted to say thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you particularly enjoyed it, maybe consider giving this video a thumbs up. If you hated it, maybe do the other thing. Also wanted to say thanks to all of my subscribers. You guys mean the world to me. And if you're watching this video and you've just found my channel and you haven't subscribed, I'd love to encourage you to maybe go ahead and do that. It is free for you and it helps me out quite a bit. And as a subscriber, that also gives you the option of using the little notification bell thing if you want to, which basically will allow you to find out as soon as I post videos like this one. You'll get a little notification and all of that. So if you're looking to find me other places on the internet, I post on Twitter quite frequently. My username there is at that DDay guy, and I also stream simultaneously to YouTube and Twitch. It's the same content in both places, so just whatever your preference is. So on YouTube, well, you've already found me, right? So if you don't want to lose me, subscribe, right? On Twitch, if that is your thing, my username there is DDay on Twitch. And I get the distinct impression I'm going to have to start streaming more because I can now be a bona fide streamer because I got, you know, the streamer chair. So anyway, guys, I just wanted to say thanks for watching again. I really appreciate it, and I will see you guys next time.